Now, Capital Legacy is the leading provider of wills in South Africa, and they've joined forces with the Organ Donor Foundation to help raise awareness about organ donation. They've already raised over 700,000 rands for the ODF, and they've also helped grow its database by 50,000 new members. Brandon Garbutt, who is the managing director of Capital Legacy, joins us right now on the morning show to speak to us about this particular initiative. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks, Nelly, and thanks for having me.
It's good to have you with us. Let's speak about the awareness campaign that you're currently running. We know Capital Legacy for doing wills.
Yes.
And then suddenly we're hearing there's this partnership that you're doing with the Organ Donor Foundation. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I mean, as people might know out there, Capital Legacy, we're the leading provider of wills and estate administration in South Africa. We're currently doing almost 10,000 wills a month.
Sure.
And helping 10,000 people get their wills in place. As well as at the moment we've got anywhere between 800 and 1,000 estates that we're winding up and assisting families with. And when we connected with the ODF or the Organ Donor Foundation about 3 years ago, it just seemed a natural fit because our tagline is leave a legacy. And we thought to ourselves, well, what better part of leaving a legacy than joining up with the Organ Donor Foundation? And it just seemed kind of a natural fit, and it kind of got woven into our consultation that we actually have with the client and saying, when you pass away, what kind of legacy do you want to lead, or that you want to leave? And what it's done has been absolutely tremendous. I mean, we've contributed in terms of members over 50,000 brand new members to the ODF.
Yeah.
As you said in the lead up to this, over 700,000 rand we've contributed to the ODF Foundation. So for us, it's been a really positive partnership with them. Yeah,
and Brandon, with it being the month of love, you've tied this entire thing with this particular month. What was the reason for that decision?
Well, we're running a campaign, obviously, in the month of February with the whole of Valentine's, where Valentine's Day is not just about chocolate hearts, it's about giving your heart away. It's our way of trying to connect and make people aware that you have the ability to change someone's life, and it doesn't take long. It takes 2 minutes to register. Yeah. And it won't cost you anything. And what I'm really chuffed and proud at is how my staff at Capital Legacy has really jumped on board with this whole campaign. We're running this whole campaign through the whole month of February on our social media sites, on many other media platforms. You'll see actual staff of the guys holding the campaigns, holding the messages. Yeah. What it is it's our way of saying we're actually really feeling part of the Organ Donor Foundation. It's our staff is jumping on board with it as well.
And I mean, in your conversations with the Organ Donor Foundation, what have you found to be part of the challenges that they face as a foundation, particularly with people not being willing to donate organs, because the numbers are really low when we're looking at the stats?
Yeah, I mean, they reckon that less than 1% of the population are actually organ donor members. And I was fortunate about a year ago, I was invited to the Premier of the Western Cape's residence, and we did a whole Organ Donor Foundation awareness dinner there. And some interesting stats came out that I think people are unaware of, and that in terms of the amount of organ donor members we need in South Africa to keep up with the demand in terms of transplants, we need about 3 million people to actually be organ donor members, and 1% of the population is very much way down in terms of that. So that's a scary stat. And quite an interesting stat, I don't know if any of the viewers know that one organ donor member can actually contribute to 7 lives when they pass away with regards to transplanting of organs. So our big thing is to help the Organ Donor Foundation with regards to awareness, education. We've tried to make it very simple and easy. When you do a will with us, it's a simple tick box that the client just needs to say, or the customer needs to say they want to be an organ donor member. We do the registration for you. We connect you with the Organ Donor Foundation. It's a 2-minute process. It doesn't cost you anything. Yeah. And as you said before, I mean, we've contributed over 700,000 rand to the Organ Donor Foundation for continuous education to the population, because it's not a once-off. It's something that has to happen all the time. And I think as long as people sort of are made aware of it all the time, we should hopefully see those numbers increase. And
I'm glad you actually went there and spoke about how the process actually unfolds. But what has been the reception from some of the people that come to Capital Legacy for their wills, and then they have that little tick box, you know, on whether or not they want to be organ donors?
Yeah, so I think there's been a stigma around organ donor. I think people are like, oh, so when I die, people are going to cut open or hack open my body. And it's not that process. And I think once we explain the process of what an organ donor actually means, and what that actually means to someone else, I mean, you're actually giving someone a second chance at life. And I know it sounds cheesy, but it really is the truth.
It is, yeah.
And what we do is, while you're doing a will with us, we just say, would you like to be an organ donor member? The client says yes, they tick the box. It's literally 2 minutes. We do all the paperwork. We obviously put you in connection with the Organ Donor Foundation. We do the registration. And there you go. Once you pass away and you're organ donor member, you can actually save up to 7 people's lives.
So I can't just come to Capital Legacy just for the organ donation part of it. It needs to be part of the drafting of the will process.
Yes, 100%. So it's one of the things. Remember, when you come to Capital Legacy, our motto is we want to have more up-to-date and valid wills out there within the country. It doesn't cost you anything to do your will or to update your will with us. So it's a free service that we offer. And then part of that is you can obviously become an organ donor member.
Cool.
Alternatively, you can obviously get hold of the Organ Donor Foundation yourself, go on their website, also to see how you can become an organ donor member.
Right. So if there's someone who's watching now, they want to do both. So they want to get their will in order, but they also want to be, part of the database for organ donors. How do we get a hold of you?
Very, very simple. Just go onto our website, www.capitallegacy.co.za. There's a simple click box that you say, please contact me. We'll contact you within 24 hours. We come out to you at your convenience. Or obviously with COVID now, we can do things virtually, where one of our consultants will contact you virtually. And we go through the whole process there. As I said, we'll draft your will for you. And part of that drafting the will is to ask you, do you want to be an organ donor member or not?
Yeah. And do you have any message, any last words to South Africans, probably to encourage them to get their wills in order, or to encourage people actually to become organ donors?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think COVID's highlighted something very much, and I always say in South Africa, is I've always said when I do a lot of talks, as I say, South Africans seem to have this Superman complex where, it'll never happen to me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put my will in place, I'll do it later. And I think COVID's highlighted that later might come a lot sooner. So my message is, it takes 45 minutes to get your will done with Capital Legacy. We make it very convenient and easy. It doesn't cost you anything. Get it done now, so that you know that that's one thing less you have to worry about.
Yeah.
And then from an Organ Donor Foundation, guys, it's 2 minutes out of your life. During this month of love, I know it's all about chocolates and roses and everything, but as we said, give your heart away. Try and save someone's life. It's 2 minutes. It's for free. And in terms of leaving a legacy, what better legacy can you leave internally to your family and externally to someone when you save their life?
Brandon, thank you so much for your time. Really, really do appreciate it. The Managing Director there of Capital Legacy joining us here on The Morning Show.